You've mastered VLOOKUPs in Excel. You set the new speedrun record for Super Mario Bros., and you've mastered that homemade bread recipe that you know will knock the socks off everyone at the office because baking is hard, man. The one thing you haven't conquered is loneliness. The bad news is that you can't force someone to be with you because that's called kidnapping. Valentine's Day is here, and if you want to avoid that horrible, empty feeling and spending 20 to life in prison for keeping the delivery driver in your home to watch Avengers Endgame, it's time to get yourself a human for a day. Oh, that's right. It's an experience right out of that one Black Mirror episode. Pour the human for a day formula into the bathtub, and within minutes, your very own baby will coalesce and your 24-hour journey is off and running. Experience infant, toddler, and preteen years within the first 4 hours before having the sex talk and jumping into arguments about the merits of college and trade school and how you don't want to support them for the rest of your life while they live in the basement and play video games. Bond and connect with your human as they become your peer, your mentor, and then basically your grandparent. When their internal organs eventually fail and their body shuts down, rest easy knowing that your human for a day is environmentally friendly and will decompose all on its own. Burying in the backyard is recommended. So kick your loneliness to the curb and get ready to experience a friend for a day that will not only give you appreciation for your own mortality, but it will most definitely keep you occupied so you won't have to focus on how empty your life is. Make your human for a day today. Head on over to humanforaday.com now and enter the promo code MINDGAP at checkout to get a free Loneliness Free for 24 hours t-shirt while supplies last. Human for a day, making you feel better about yourself one synthetically created and destroyed being at a time. Hey friends, I want to take a moment to thank the fans who've been reaching out to us on social media, YouTube, and Twitch. Justin and I love making this podcast, and sometimes we lose sight of the fact that people like you listen to our content, and we just want to say with full hearts, thank you. Hit us up on all social media at MindGap Podcast, check out our YouTube channel, and stop by our Twitch stream, twitch.tv/MindGapPodcast, to hang out with us while we record our episodes. We absolutely love interacting with you while we record. Also, it would mean the world to us if you'd hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Thanks again for listening and interacting. We love you. This week's episode is brought to you by Elephant and Castle, located at 185 North Wabash and 111 West Adams in Chicago, Illinois. Look, I know you're looking for that perfect English pub experience so you can grab some incredible drinks and tasty food. Elephant and Castle has you covered. They have excellent daily drink specials, happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., and some delicious-ass food for you to chew on while you watch some fucking sports. Come on down to Elephant and Castle at 185 North Wabash or 111 West Adams in Chicago, Illinois, and tell them that Mind Gap Podcast sent you. Well, it's that time again, Mind Gap adventurers. On this week's episode, Justin and I review the recent story about a mother who had the chance to visit her deceased daughter in a virtual reality environment and debate whether we would ever consider participating in an exercise like that. We then chat about how comedian Ari Shaffir's joke about Kobe Bryant's death drew universal derision, butthurt reactions to Parasite winning an Oscar, and how much I hate bagging groceries at the supermarket. So put on your VR headset, put on your special feely gloves, and hit the start button on your VR device as we head into the virtual reality world of episode 234 on Mind Gap Podcast.
Mind Gap Podcast.
Hey, you're a video producer. Hey, this guy shoots pornos in his building. True facts.
I shoot pornos in my building.
True facts. This guy right here.
I do. Me. True facts.
Hashtag true facts.
Hashtag True Lies starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold
Kathy Lee
Schwarzenegger.
Jones. What? What's her name?
Kathy Lee Gifford?
There we go. Kathy Lee, Gifford, Jones, whatever.
But she's not in True Lies.
Kathy Lee Jones. Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's the
I knew
one.
it was a three-name person. I knew it was a three-name broad.
Guys, we got there. Together, we got there.
Hey, what's up? Water Speech. Welcome back, pal. Nice to see you. Hope your time in Vietnam was good.
What?
You spent some time in Nam.
I don't know how I feel about that.
All right, well, tell it to the judge.
All right.
Okay, that's it. All right.
All right,
I see where this is going.
we
and I
got
don't
there,
like
guys.
it.
We got there.
Okay. Okie dokie. Woo! I'm really happy to be here, man.
It makes one of us.
I mean, I don't think I've ever had a time where I've been like, Jesus Christ, I really wish I wasn't here. I've never had that. In 234 episodes, I've never been like, I wish I could get out of this fucking room. So
That says something about our relationship.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Twitch.
Thank you, Twitch, for
thank
being.
you, listeners.
Yeah.
This is fun. This is good stuff. So my daughter was a real piece of shit this morning.
I thought you were gonna say. So my daughter was arrested.
No,
What'd she do?
She was a nightmare, man. She was a nightmare. Jill's sick. Nice. Jill was sick and needed me to take Natalie to school today. So I was like, no problem. I got you. Got up. Natalie was in Jill's room. And yeah, we sleep apart because I snore. What of it? I'm not worried about it.
I'm just saying, marriage story. What?
Nice retort with the snort. So I go in
It's
there.
a special one today.
It's special. So I go in there, and as soon as I even just sit on the bed, Natalie leans away from me and gets closer to Jill.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, we're gonna do this shit, huh? We're gonna do this shit. Okay.
Got it. All right, child. I got it.
And I was talking. I was like, all right, kiddo, we got to get going. And she's like, she just goes further and further to the point where she's just laying on Jill, and she wanted to be near me. And I'm like, oh, God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt it just in my chest, my anger. I was like, this is not good. But I recognized it. I was like, this is bad.
Right.
This is really bad what's about to happen. You're getting angry. You're not thinking logically. And I was like, breathe. Jill's trying to talk to her, let her know, hey, look, mom's not feeling well. We talked about this. Sometimes being nice means not thinking about yourself, thinking about other people, not necessarily doing what you want to do. We're talking, we're trying to be civil, and it's just not going anywhere. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. If I had all day, I would wait her out.
Sure.
I am the king of attrition.
Oh,
I will win the battle of attrition. 9 times out of 10, I will win that battle. I just didn't have the time to do it. So finally I was like, hey, we got to go. And then she just starts crying and she starts throwing a tantrum and then this and everything. And I got to the point where I was like, this can't. It just kept going. It was escalating and escalating and escalating. And I got to the point where
You know who you should have called?
Who's that?
Officer Brock.
Officer Brock, tell me how to
Lieutenant
de-escalate
Brock,
this.
because
That's
he
right.
needs to de-escalate the situation.
Like, Brock, tell me, how do I deal with this terrorist?
Brock, I've got a 4-year-old terrorist. She's driving me nuts.
What do I do? So I essentially, I literally go, hey, I want you to think really hard about this moment right now. Think about it because you're about to lose privileges and I want you to remember why. So think really hard about what you're about to do because this is going to come back to you. I want you to know that.
Jesus Christ.
And she just
Nothing
stared
like
at me.
threatening your daughter.
I was like, get in your room. And I go, fine, I'm going to pick out your clothes. And she's like, no, runs in.
So basically you're like, I'm going to lean into the bad guy. I'm going
I
to
was
lean
like-
into the villain role.
I was like, look, we got to get this ball rolling.
Natalie, I'm going to kill your cat.
Just pull our stuffed cat and it's no. So I just go and I start to pick out her clothes. I don't want to pick out her clothes, but then I have this dilemma of I just told her she doesn't get what she wants because she's just acting like a complete shit. She's not listening. She's being awful. She's yelling. She's screaming.
All
And I
the
was
while,
like,
Jill is probably trying to get a little bit more sleep because she's not feeling well.
Jill's not feeling well.
Right.
And so I go to Natalie's closet. I go, and she's like, I want to get my clothes. I go, you remember that thing I just told you about how this is going to come back to you? I go, this is the start of it. You don't get to do things when you act like this. I go, you're not being nice. She has this little puzzle in her room, with like a little elephant. She just goes,
Oh,
and
no.
throws the
Oh,
pieces.
boy.
I just stared at her. And I was like,
So at this point, here's I'm going to interject here. Here's how you know she's your daughter. Is because
that was a bad time to take a sip of that.
as illogical as she's being, it is a full-on battle of will.
Yeah.
And your daughter will not back down.
And the thing is, like, normally I'm good with that. Like I said, I can wait her out.
Sure.
I will wait her out. I will let her calm down.
We're on a schedule, people.
I have no problem.
Yeah.
And so I just stood there and I stared at her. And then I was like, well, I'm going to pick something. She grabs the puzzle board and chucks it at my shin.
Oh, no. Oh, my. She really.
And I
Oh, boy.
very quickly picked her up and put her on the bed. And I was like, you don't throw things at me. And I walked out of the room and slammed the door. I saw Jill and I was like this. I go, I have to leave now. I go, I can't do this.
Right.
I've got to go. And I just left. I was like, I'm sorry. I tried to help. I can't do this. And I walked out. I went to go catch the train.
I mean, there's only, there's only so much you can do, right? Like, there's, at some point, yeah.
Jill said it was continued to be a problem until
So Natalie was really just being crabby this morning. It was like, as soon as Jill took over, she was still in that mood.
Yeah, she said it. She goes, I don't ever want to spank Natalie, but she goes, but I really wanted to spank her this morning because she was really just being unreasonable.
Sure.
She goes, the second Natalie got in the car, she was like, fine, great, amazing. She wanted to count school buses. She wanted to talk about all this sort of stuff. And Jill goes, you don't want a teacher to hold a grudge.
I was just going to say, like, it's amazing how quickly they go, hey, mama, let's play a game.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
we have a hard time changing those gears because I'm like, it's over. But I'm like, you can't act like that.
Right.
And then just be like, ooh, how many school buses are we going to see?
But if you were an adult, we would be feuding right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's one of those things where it was a very rough start to the morning.
Well, I'm very sorry for you that you had a rough start to the morning.
It's okay.
That's not easy.
It's okay.
Not easy.
I love my kid. I love her. Before I left, she was just whatever. And I go, hey, listen, I love you no matter what, okay? Even though you're being kind of rough this morning, I want you to know that I love you, okay? Have a great day, all right? I kissed her and I went. I was like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here.
That was a very nice thing. That was probably the right move. It's just,
I could have done better,
it's
but
such a test of patience, man.
Yeah,
it's such a test of patience.
I was proud of myself because I had the self-awareness. Like I had the alarms going off. Like
you're getting upset.
It's like, dude, you got to breathe. It's like she's 4. She's 4.
Right.
She's 4. I skipped her. Like that was my mantra. I was like, she's just a kid. She doesn't understand. She's just a kid. She doesn't understand. But I was like, but she needs to understand. Because she's like when she's a dick to me. It's like I want to try and course correct it, but at the same time, I'm like, she's 4.
Right.
But it's just one of those things. Like I kind of made a joke at school where every time I pick her up, she always has like these pieces of paper and stuff that she's drawn on. She's always like, this is for mom. They're never for me.
Right.
They're always for mom.
Yeah.
And then the other day at school, I go, how come these are always for mom? And how come they're never for me? And her teacher laughed. And Natalie was like, oh, well, they're for both of you. I'm like, oh, great. Now they're for both of us.
Right.
Thank you. And then the next day at school, she goes, this is for mom and dad. I'm like, all right, we're getting there.
So she retained it. Yeah.
I was like, we're moving it along. But I'm just trying to teach her to be a good kid. And it's like, you just have to learn that you can't be a dickhead.
Yeah.
Because if you're a dickhead or if you're a deek.
If
you're a deek.
Right.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
And so I think this is like the crucial age between like 3 and 7 where you really got to try and help them understand what it means to be a good human.
Yeah.
Because there's that adage of show me a child at 7, I'll show you an adult at 40. And
I've never heard that.
It's something I heard, like there was an experiment they did years ago where they followed these kids at like 7 years old and then they checked in with them at 40.
Okay.
And it was remarkable how much of the same they were. Kids that were like encouraged and like excited to learn and where they went versus kids who didn't have that or whatever. Like they essentially, your personality is established of who you are and sort of like your habits and things like that at that age. And
so you really want to hit the gas at a certain age to be like, all right, we really have to start forming good habits.
Well, because part of it too is that, I read a comedian once was talking about one of the shitty things about being a parent is like you're harping on your kid to learn this, to do this, to do this. And what sucks is eventually they're doing that the way you want to, but because you've moved on to something else you're trying to teach them, you don't even realize that you won.
Right.
To say thank you after you get something, you're already sitting there like now trying to be like, well, don't fucking break shit.
The next thing's wrong.
But it's like they're already actually saying thank you, so it's kind of like it's obviously a thankless endeavor of just trying to always be engaged in that, and it can get tough at times. But.
I can only imagine, especially when you've got someone who doesn't. It's like dealing with something that doesn't apply. The rules of physics don't apply. Like the rules of logic did not apply,
That's my
and so
struggle.
that's got to be the biggest struggle, especially for practical Doug.
Oh, I had the other night too. She was like, she calls me in. She's like, I'm hot. I'm like, all right, well, you sleep with about 1,000 blankets. So how about we take one of those off? And she's like, no, it's my shirt. I'm like, okay, do you want to take off your shirt? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, take off your shirt. She takes off her shirt. I'm like, cool, you good? She's like, no, I want a different shirt. I go, that's not how this works. She goes, I want the kitty shirt. I go, okay, time out. Are you hot?
Right.
Okay, what's putting on another shirt gonna do for you? Especially one that has kitties on it. I want a different one. We can do that tomorrow. It's 9:30. You should be asleep. I will take a blanket off. Pick which one you want.
Right.
Which one do you want?
You can
The other
have the
one's
kitty
going.
shirt, but a
I'm
blanket's
putting
coming
this
off.
one back on you. And I
Oh,
put the shirt back
so
on.
no kitty shirt.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not changing pajamas at 9:30 at night.
Right.
Go the fuck to sleep.
Because
Like-
then that becomes the game.
And I'm
then
like-
that just reinforces.
No,
that.
I go tomorrow when we can put on new stuff and we can do that. It's just like,
right.
and I was like, you're hot, right? I'm trying to logic my way through.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Then you need fewer blankets. You were sick, you had a fever, you're probably, okay, take a blanket off.
Right.
If you want to sleep with your shirt off, that's fine. I don't care. We're not changing your jammies right now.
But this one will make me cooler.
Like, no, it won't.
Right.
So-
Jared says child logic physically hurts me sometimes, and
Yeah.
we're watching this unfold right now, Jared.
Yeah, it happens where Natalie will be like, she'll ask me something in the car. She'll be like, Dad, I'll just make something up. She's like, Dad, why can't we go? I'm like, because the lights are red. She's like, no. Why can't we go? I'm like, because the lights are red. She's like, no, Dad. Why can't we go? I'm like, because the light's red. That's the law. I didn't write the law, but I want to live. She's like, why are you yelling at me? I'm like, because you're driving me nuts. She had that the other night. Jill yelled at her. She goes, I don't like it when you yell at me. It's like, you forced me to do this. I have no options.
Oh, wait, so Natalie said that to Jill? I don't like it when you yell at me. You forced me to do this.
I was really proud of her the other night. Apparently, I got her so mad, she put her face in her blankets and goes, you make me so angry sometimes. I'm like, really good job I literally go, I'm proud of you for saying how you feel. That's
Right.
actually really good.
Right.
I go, I'm sorry I made you feel that
to
way.
you.
She said that to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I was like, you're vocalizing how you're feeling. I go, that's good. I go, I'm sorry I made you that mad.
Now, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
When you congratulated her
Uh-huh.
on expressing her emotion of anger towards you, did that just make her more angry?
It didn't help. I don't think she understood that I was like, and she said it in such an adult
It
way.
just sounds patronizing.
It was-
It just sounds patronizing.
It was just one of those things where, no, guys, I'm not drinking. Thank you. I'm having a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Pause for sip.
Taste the rainbow.
Not the slogan.
I'm pretty sure it is.
All right. That is, oh man, there are certain moments in a relationship that I wish I could have been a fly on the wall to see that.
Yeah.
Just to watch her face. Like, I can imagine her screaming into the blanket and then just, as you say that, turn and just go, what did you just say?
I literally was like, I was totally,
Hey, I'm proud of you.
I was so excited because I'm like, this is a big thing. And she said it in such an adult way. And I was like, oh,
in
right.
such an adult way?
Yeah, she's just, you make me so angry sometimes. I'm like, wow, that is a full, like, adult sentence that I'm not used to hearing from her.
I just realized we're talking about Natalie.
Yeah.
I thought you pissed Jill off.
No.
That's why this whole thing, because you were like, I thought you said this happened to Jill the other night. I pissed Jill off and Jill screamed into a blanket.
Gotcha. No, see, I was talking about this happened to Jill, where Jill got so mad at Natalie that
Got it.
she yelled at Natalie, and then I didn't transition very well. And when I go back and listen to this, I'm gonna be like, that's where I messed up with the story.
That or I completely missed
no,
it.
it was
I'm just
me.
saying. Yeah.
In my mind, the links happened, but I didn't allow for that bridge to get built.
So now see it from my perspective, where Jill's pissed at you.
Yeah.
She screams into a blanket. You make me so mad. And you
like,
look at her.
"Good for you."
You look at her and go, I'm so proud that you said that. Because I'm just like, did she
God.
turn and kick you in the nuts? Because she should have.
Yeah, she get that. Oof, boy. There's this really dumb joke from The Big Bang Theory that we oftentimes will throw back to each other. It's this patronizing thing that this character says to somebody. This person goes, hey, I know this thing. And they go, do you know why you know that? They're like, why? Because I just told you. And I will do that to Jill. She'd be like, oh, well. I go, do you know why you know that? She goes, don't fucking say it. Because I just told you. She's like, fuck you. She gets really mad.
You gotta poke at them sometimes. You gotta poke at your loved ones.
So speaking of poking at your loved ones.
Here we go.
Have you
Flawless transition.
Have you heard about this new technology, this story, the VR getting put to good use?
Hashtag don't like it.
Question mark.
Hashtag don't like it.
There was an article called Mother Plays with Deceased Daughter in VR Simulation.
Strap in. This is going to get gross.
Woo! I posted this on our social medias, had a nice discussion with some folks on Facebook about it. And yeah, I mean, I feel like the title says it all, other than, some other minor details. But essentially the crux of it is there was a woman who had, I think, like a 7-year-old daughter. And the daughter died of a very tragic disease.
Uncurable terminal disease.
Exactly. Yep. And this VR company actually recreated her likeness in VR and actually used some of her voice.
They did like
recordings.
A voice approximation. Yeah.
Exactly, to make her sound like her. And this woman got to enter a VR simulation with her daughter to celebrate her birthday.
So she had on the VR goggles, she had on earphones, and she had on haptic gloves so she could actually feel, touch her daughter and hug her and stroke her hair. And they had a picnic.
Yes.
They played in the park, and they celebrated what would have been her daughter's birthday.
Yeah. And it's... I couldn't bring myself to actually watch the footage of it.
I watched it.
They talk about how having a kid will change how you feel about certain things.
Yes.
This is one of those things where I'm like, I don't think I could watch that.
Sure. I watched it and I felt heartbroken. I'm sure it would be completely different if I was in your situation.
I was like, ugh. So this technology exists now, and my first thing I'll say is we're not where we probably, I use the word need here very loosely, we're not where we need to be with this technology yet because it still looks like you're in a computer game for my approximation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm terrified about where we can go with this.
Well, I'll say this to that. It doesn't matter if we're there or not yet. This is wrong. This is flat out wrong.
I think this will get scarier
100%.
The more real it gets. And if any of you have watched Black Mirror, there is an episode of Black Mirror that is startlingly similar to this situation where someone loses a loved one and there's this experimental technology where this woman is chatting with her loved one and it assumes, does an algorithm, studies their social media patterns and is able to approximate what they would say. And then they modulate a voice using phone calls so she can talk to him. And then they get a physical being and it comes to life. And it's this using the same thing. Like it has a voice. It looks like him and does whatever.
We talked a little bit about.
It can get hot on command. Like, yep.
Yeah. We talked about that a little bit about if you downloaded your consciousness or something like that. Like, is that still you? Is that still that person? But someone asked, what was she hugging? If you watch the video, she's hugging literally nothing. Like she's the haptic gloves. She put her hands on her daughter's shoulders and she was running her hands through her daughter's hair. So I'm assuming that because of the gloves that she could feel the strands of her daughter's hair kind of like wisping across the fingers with all the different haptic points, the points on there. Watch the video. We go to our Facebook page. Did you post it to Twitter too?
I did.
All right. So go to any of the social media. There's a link there, and they've got there's no audio. I found that out the hard way. But it shows her in a green screen, and there's part of the video that shows her just in the green screen, and then it cuts to just a camera of her in the green screen. Then it cuts to her in the actual VR world. And then it cuts to what she's actually seeing and her touching her daughter. And she's just pouring tears, pouring tears. And then her fucking family is in the studio and they're sitting back watching her on monitors, just crying and being like, this is such a sweet moment. It's not a sweet moment.
All right, tell me, why is this not a sweet moment?
Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, there is, it was this article or another one where they had like a psychologist or psychiatrist, whichever one doesn't prescribe medicine.
A farmer.
That one. a farmer cyst.
Fuck you for making that joke. God damn it.
So
God damn it. That caught me. That caught me dead in my tracks.
So they had someone weigh in and they said, like, this is terrible for the grieving process. Absolutely not good mentally. Like, as tragic as it is to lose a child, you have to start making steps to reconcile that with yourself and get through it. This prolongs it because you are not, it's going to leave you with this empty feeling where you're not actually interacting with your child. You're just not.
Yeah.
And you're going to keep tricking your brain into thinking, well, one more time, I want to see her one more time. And you're never going to get through the grieving process and be able to get to the other side of that sadness. And it just always lingers there. Now, that being said, would I be interested? Like I've never lost a child. I've lost grandparents. I've lost other members of my family.
Lost my keys.
Would it be interesting to be able to jump back into VR and see my grandfather again? Sure, it might be interesting, but it would definitely do a number on me. I know for sure that's not a good way to get through something.
Yeah.
And like again, they had a professional talk about this. It's just not healthy.
Real quick, I just wanted. There was a great joke in here amidst the sadness. Says, "What was she hugging?" And Jared goes, "She was hugging her own sadness. She hugged James Dean."
There it is. The guy's getting cast in everything now. Everything.
Oh my God. So my thing on this is, it's funny because there was an episode of this, something like this, back in the 90s. I can't remember what it was on, if it was like an Outer Limits episode or something. The only reason why I watched is because there was sex in it, and I wanted to see some
nice.
boobs. And essentially what it was, it's exactly what we're talking about in the sense of a guy lost his wife or his girlfriend or something. There's a VR thing. He would go in there and he would just spend all the time with her.
Right.
And in the VR world, he would eat with her or whatever. I remember there's a part where he comes out and the guy's like, dude, we should get some lunch. He's like, no, I just ate with Aaron. He's like, no, you didn't.
Right.
You did in there, but you didn't actually eat anything. You need to eat. He's like, I'm full. He's like, no, you're not. And this guy was like in there having sex with her and everything like that, but he was wasting away because he was spending all of his time in there.
Sure.
And that was years ago.
Yeah.
That concept of that, came around. And for me, I asked Jill about this because she had, that was super professional.
You're the consummate professionalism that just kind of oozes out of your pores. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
You all are welcome.
You're welcome.
This brought to you by Halal Guys
There it
and
is.
Dr. Pepper.
All right.
Yeah.
Taste the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow. Jill goes, so you're going to ask me about that thing that you posted? I was like, which one? She's like, the VR thing. I'm like,
Do I want to?
Do you want to?
Right.
She said that, surprisingly to me, she goes, a part of me thinks I would need to do that. And I'm like,
Would need to do it.
need to do it.
Very interesting. Very interesting take.
I go, my concern is that if I break that seal, I'm afraid of what addiction would come from that, the need to do it. And I don't, again, it wouldn't be as important to me with this because I'm like, this is obviously a computer generated thing. And yeah, I can hear some modulated voice of some sort, but it's not going to do it. If you put something in and it's like the Matrix and I'm in there, that's something where I'm like, I don't think I need to know that that exists because I don't want that. I think that is a path to madness. And it's something that I agree with the pharmacist on this one in that this is not good for the grieving process. All it's going to do in my mind is reopen wounds.
Absolutely.
And any progress that you've made, I suppose it probably depends on the person. I don't think it's good to make a blanket statement of like, this is not good for anybody. Maybe this is like the final thing someone needs to do to say goodbye. And then they move on or whatever. I don't know. I
still say that
I think it's dangerous.
Well, I think what we're doing is we're on this to me is the closest we've been to the precipice of like creating life. We're like playing God, if you will.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like it's not life, and obviously it's still a computer simulation. And sure, we've created life in that regard, but this is something where have you ever been in a VR simulation or
well, it's been a while and it was years ago.
Right.
I would love to try it again.
Recently, I got the chance to play a VR game, and I have to say, while yes, I was still blatantly in a computer game, and it was not one of the higher end models or games or whatever.
Yeah.
It was still amazing that like when I looked down and I was on the edge of something, I got that feeling in my stomach of like, oh,
yeah.
and I'm like, wait, dude, you're on solid ground. You're fine. Like I had to keep telling myself. So again, mentally, I would be comfortable making the blanket statement that I do not think that this would be this is not a good door to open.
I agree. Also to VR in some sense, they have those games where it's called like walking on the ledge.
Yeah.
And it's like you walk out on a ledge on top of a building, there's helicopters coming by, and you're just supposed to, and I've watched videos of people doing that and they're freaking out.
Yes.
Because like, I'm gonna fall! It just seems so it's
again, it's immersive.
It's only gonna get more better. It's gonna get more better. It's gonna get more defined. It's gonna get to the point where it's more realistic. And I don't know, man. VR for that reason, I don't think it's a good use of it. And
I think Ichoi07 said it. He wrote it here. He goes, "This is just tragic and stupid. Our close friends just passed the 3-year mark this past Sunday of when their infant son died.
Jeez.
They still cope with the loss, but celebrate his life in healthy ways. How the heck can a fake experience be healthy? I feel like it would undo years of learning to let go and grieving. It's just a trick."
Yeah. And then Water Speech says, right, are we supposed to say goodbye? Or are we supposed to avoid pain? I agree.
And that's why I think for like, and while I look, someone may, like Jill, someone like her may need to, maybe that is part of her. Maybe it is psychologically and like, it's like one medicine does, like everyone's body reacts different to medicine. Maybe mentally it would be different for some people. I just have to assume with my, vast, breadth of psychological knowledge, that it would be a very slippery slope for any mental capacity. It just, to that end, you're not grieving. You're not getting past it. You're living in it.
I'm wondering if you could prescribe this in kind of doses, like depending on what's happened. Like let's say part of the grieving process is you never got to say goodbye, right? Something sudden happens.
Sure.
And that sense of like, God, I need to say goodbye. And maybe they have like 5 sessions. And each session it's programmed so that by the last one, the child is actually saying goodbye to you in the environment or whatever. The loved one is like, hey, I've got to go.
Yeah.
This is our last session, whatever. And that way it kind of allows you to like spend that time and actually engage and then say your goodbye. Whereas with this, it seems like it was a debilitating disease, which sucks.
Right.
Again, I'm making huge assumptions here, but I'm assuming that they all witnessed as it happened. And then this is just, I wish I had more time sort of situation, which that's what all this is, right?
I mean, even with the saying goodbye.
Agreed.
Like, that's still, I want more time.
I want more time, but I feel like maybe in that specific situation, because it's something that happened and maybe you weren't there or it was just like whatever and you didn't get a chance, like say you were out of town and then your dad passed away or whatever. And you're like, oh my God, I just couldn't be there at the end. And maybe it's something where you have a couple of sessions where it allows you to actually say goodbye. It kind of allows you to come to terms, because I think maybe in some respect that aspect would just stick on you where like, I never got a chance to say the things that I needed to say.
True.
And maybe that could help.
And maybe, I suppose in a purely like for yourself, a purely cathartic way, just to be able to get out those things. But you're not saying goodbye to that person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you could easily just close your eyes and pray and say goodbye to them in that way, or visit the graveyard and talk to them, like talk to the spirit of them or whatever it is that you believe. I have to keep going back to like, even when you're saying goodbye to something that someone programmed to respond back to you. Mm-hmm. And so you're really not saying goodbye to that.
Agree. This is the whole, it's not James Dean thing all over again.
Exactly.
And again, maybe it's a situation where we get to the Black Mirror level where because the algorithm has studied so much about this person and what they've posted that they can pretty much to like the 95th percentile say and respond in a way that the person can. And that is maybe what does it. In its current state, no. Like this person is going to, wait, what?
Right. Yeah.
This current state is like, this is programmed to do certain, like the daughter was programmed, I'm sure, to go and do different things and have the picnic. At certain points, it was triggered to do different things. Right. Whereas if it was programmed to a state of, cool, you can literally be like, hey, Dad? And I'm like, what's up, Justin? And you're like, what's the next line? It's like, what do you mean, what's the next line? And
Yeah,
like,
where it could actually have the
actually,
AI was built in enough to where
you could actually have a moment to do that. Again, still think that's risky, but I could understand a scenario where that could be helpful.
Yeah, I maybe again it's just a personal thing because for me I don't see where that would be helpful. I'd have a hard time.
I still would want to do it,
right? Even if it were so real looking, I still would know like this person's gone.
Yeah.
I'm not actually saying goodbye to this person, and I may as well get used to the fact because I have to feel like there would always be that even though you're getting to say goodbye, and if you didn't do that, there would still be this gnawing thing, like you said, in the back. Like I didn't get to say goodbye. Even if you did get to say goodbye to this VR simulation, would there not be? For me, I still feel like there'd be that gnawing sensation in the back of my head saying, you really didn't get to ever say goodbye. So I would rather, instead of prolonging that, I'd rather just get to the meat and potatoes of the grief and the sadness and the despair and try to power through that and find my way out through the other side.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I feel like that's almost just like extending it and dragging it out.
Yeah, I think it's like very specific scenarios when that, again, I'm in the same boat as you. Well, you know, one of my best friends died when I was 25.
Sure.
And what I would have loved to have another 5 30-minute sessions with a real live version of him, of course, but I don't think any computer is really going to replicate Jeff and all of his glory and all of his sarcasm and his shenanigans.
You
There's
don't
no
think
way.
the government has stuff on they could? He's around.
He's here.
Yeah.
There's no way that didn't help, because for me in that situation, Jill grappled with his death differently than mine because she had a hard time dealing with the fact of like, why him?
Sure, right.
She's like, how come he is gone, but there's other shit people out there that are still around, and she had a hard time reconciling
Why
that
did the good
chaos.
die young? Yeah.
And for me, it was just like, I miss my friend.
Right.
And I was like, I can't battle with the existential part of like, why him and why not someone else? And then for me, it was just like, he's gone, and those are the things where I think I'm more at peace with the chaos of the world than I am with a lot of other things. Like there's a lot of situations where I understand why people turn to religion and things like that, because they're like, I need someone to answer this for me. And there's answers in the vague, you know, of like, well, the God has a plan. It's like, okay. You know, and then people find solace in that, and that's okay. If that helps people heal, whatever. For me, I'm like, this world's full of chaos. And that's a scary thing to look at. And be like, yeah, at any point in time, gone.
Right.
That's what happens.
Right.
But because we want to believe egocentrically that we are important, we have a purpose, we have a mission, we have this thing we have to accomplish, we're the hero of our story.
Right.
And when other people go, they're like, what? That doesn't follow the script.
Right.
It's like, I know. And it's terrifying
I
when you
feel
think
like
of it that way.
a lot of people, and you know, take it for what it is and like him or not, but I think a lot of people had that same feeling when Kobe passed.
Oh, 100%.
And it's very well known. I'm not a sports fan. I don't know a lot about it. He was enough of a pop culture influence that I very much knew what he was up to and who he was and about and everything. Like, you didn't have to be a basketball fan to have for Kobe Bryant to be in your cultural, lexicon, right? But I think when he died, something hit in me, again, his personal life aside, something hit where I was just like, well, that wasn't supposed to happen. And I had that exact thought where I was like, wait a second, it wasn't right. It wasn't the time. It wasn't, we go to a deli and pull a number. His ticket hadn't been called yet. It was very weird. And it pulled me out of that moment for a minute.
No, I know what you mean. Cause I don't follow NBA.
Yeah.
I never really have. But when I heard that of his sudden death, like I was playing games with my brother and he's like, dude, Kobe Bryant died. And we both were like, whoa, that's crazy. I think part of it's the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Just tragic.
You're like, wait a second.
Daughters with him. It was
Daughters,
just like, oh, fuck, it's awful. But that was something too where, I was actually at work the other day and I was in one of the common areas and I heard this guy on the phone and he was telling his friend about how Kobe Bryant's death affected him. He's just like, I hear him answer the phone. He's like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, you know me, man. Just, I got to get that Mamba mentality, because that's something that he would say.
The Black Mamba.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, just essentially like, you got to go get it every day. You got to go get it.
Right.
He goes, man, someone told me that, he's dead. I was like, bullshit. And he's like, corroborate that shit. He goes like, if Sports Center isn't reporting on it, then it didn't happen. And he goes in like 2 minutes later, he gets a notification. He was like, fuck. He's like, and I had to go to work.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't feel like doing shit that day. He's like, but I got to remember Mamba mentality. Like Kobe Bryant had such a huge impact
on him, on
the idea of this thing. And I was like, God damn, that's interesting how that happens. And interestingly enough, that you bring up Kobe Bryant, segue into something just a little bit of an offshoot here. Are you familiar with Ari Shaffir?
Yes, I know of the comedian Ari Shaffir. Yeah.
You hear what happened with him and Kobe Bryant?
No, I did not hear about this.
All right, so Ari Shaffir has a thing. He's a comedian. He's a bit of a rabble-rouser. And apparently he's done this thing for years that whenever someone of note dies, he puts out a pretty just abrasive tweet about them.
Okay.
He just basically makes a joke
Sure.
about them or whatever, and he's been doing it for years.
Okay. Doesn't matter who, equal
Doesn't
opportunity
matter.
offender.
He does it.
Yeah.
And I think his explanation for this is, in the moment of this, he's like, I think his thing is like, we're not all good people. And it's something about the nature of like, I guess being the crux of that, of being the antithesis of like mourning is like to talk shit about someone.
Sure.
So he's just done that forever.
Sure.
Well, apparently he tweeted out with a guy who got away with rape got his today. That did not get, that was not well received.
I can only imagine.
He basically got off of all social media and his management dropped him over it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The show got canceled.
Holy shit.
Like
there's some serious backlash on this.
Serious backlash on this. And I wanted to get your take on it and what you thought.
Oh, boy.
Let's talk about a hot take.
Let's talk about hot take.
Justin's hot takes.
Oh, man, I wish I had we're going to start streaming an earphone because I've got the Rap air horn app. Oh. So I need my phone here. Yeah. Interesting. Wow, boy. I guess I'm just hearing about this now, so I'm formulating opinions in the moment. But it's something that he had been. It's not something new. It's something he'd been doing for a while, right? So it's not like he was silent through all these celebrity deaths throughout the years, and then all of a sudden he's just like, "This one, I'm going to take this motherfucker down."
Yeah.
So it's definitely like it was a known bit he did.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like.
Justin's just massaging the table right now.
Yeah,
he's like
sensually. At the same time, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like it's like I understand like making a joke. Sometimes people joke as part of the grieving process. Doesn't sound like he's doing that. It sounds like he admittedly is a rabble rouser. He likes to stir up shit.
Yeah.
So at the same time, I'm like, well, you kind of reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Like it's you said something you knew was going to be controversial. Sometimes what did you teach Natalie? Obviously his parents never picked his clothes out for him as he threw a puzzle at their shins.
As there's consequences, man.
There's consequences. So I think that at the end of the day, he made a decision and it could have gone one of two ways and it went the way he didn't expect and there's a consequence to it. Now, again, whether or not he should have, we can argue free speech. There's so many ways you can argue. Like
he's not going to jail over this,
right? But again, it's at their discretion, the management company's discretion, whether or not they keep him as a client. It's at the venue's discretion whether or not they have him do a show. So, and I'm sure something in the contract says we can at any point in time pull this show, pull your slot. So. I would say it's on him. Like it's on Ari. I don't think I don't think that he was. I'm not going to say he was right or wrong for doing it. Personally, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it. It was his choice, and he made a choice, and he has to suffer. He has to live with the consequences now.
Yeah,
that's my hot take.
I find it interesting because a lot of comedians like Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, and guys like that were all surprisingly like, did you see that thing that Ari did? Like they were
his friends.
They were all very much like, which surprised me because usually comedians
they'll band together.
They were like, whatever, man. If it's funny, say it. Like they're on board with that.
But again, water speech. The joke just wasn't that good. We've talked about it before.
That's true.
If the joke kills, if it's undeniably funny, say it.
It's pretty lazy. It's pretty lazy, to like just because I guess but that seemed like the the point of it was just to be a rabble rouser.
It was just to incite.
Like, well, a rapist is gone now. Am I right?
Right.
It's like, okay.
Because there were other people who were legitimately tweeting, I feel sorry for his victims who have to hear for the next month about how great of a guy their abuser was.
Yeah.
And so like there was real lives affected by, again, whatever happened whatever happened in court, out of court. I didn't follow it enough to know where all of that landed, but it's a very sensitive topic.
Yeah.
It's an extraordinarily sensitive topic.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if it's a good joke, then, whatever. But I remember Bert it was funny because Bert and Tom were both like, they both go, hey, so this tweet is not indicative of who Ari Shaffir is. They're like, we're not saying it was cool. They're just saying he's a better guy than what that tweet is. Essentially is what they were saying is like, don't judge him by this tweet alone. And I think Tom was even saying how Ari was like, he showed him the tweet and Tom was like, you're gonna post that?
Right.
He's like, okay.
Good luck, pal. Yeah.
And
I think E207 just goes, maybe he'll treat the death of his career with more tact.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's something in that vein of it's got to be funny, and I don't think anything is out of bounds. Like, what's his name? There's another comedian that really does that sort of stuff. He's quick one-liners.
Rodney Dangerfield.
No.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
No. Oh, crap. I'm never going to...
Don Rickles.
He was great. Wasn't he great?
He was great. King Amin.
Fire the Turning Award is Anthony Jeselnik.
Oh, not a fan.
I know you're not a fan.
Yeah.
I am impressed at how that guy crafts jokes.
Okay.
He has amazing one-liners that always take a left turn, and every single time I'm like, I didn't see that coming.
Sure.
And
I'll give him credit in that regard.
Yeah.
From that artist, like the craft of it.
Yeah.
100%. He can lead you down a path, and which is what comedy, you don't want the audience to ever get ahead of you and arrive at the punchline before you get there. Mm-hmm. So he's a master at throwing that curveball.
Yeah.
I do not agree with some of the curveballs he throws, but
that's fair.
That is only a personal preference.
Totally fair.
Right. That's
totally fair. I just remember watching this shit going like, okay, like there's no fat on these jokes.
Oh, no, yeah.
Timed perfectly. He knows exactly when to pause.
It is, yep.
And then he's like, and here's the punchline.
Yeah. And it
like,
cuts.
fuck.
It cuts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah. So, Ari Shaffir, best of luck to you, pal.
There you go. There's another tweet that I did want to talk about. I saw Drew comment on this earlier this week, and I was like, yeah, that is bullshit. And Drew just brought it up. So the tweet is from a gentleman named John Miller, and he. Do we know Blaze TV? Is that like the place that Tory?
Blaze TV, yeah.
Like that's ultra conservative.
That's what's his name? Glenn Beck's, I think. Network.
But didn't Glenn go more middle of the road?
I don't know.
Somehow
He disappeared.
But what's that girl's name? Tony.
Fucking Tommy Lauren.
Tommy Lauren. Yeah, that's right. Doesn't matter.
Fucking
anyway,
Tommy Lauren.
So John Miller, he's a host of the White House Brief. So he says, Blaze TV, host of the White House Brief, and whatever disclaimer I need to put here so that I don't get fired. That's his profile on Twitter. So he tweets on Sunday, because Parasite won for Best Picture. So he said a man named Bong Joon-ho wins Oscar for Best Original Screenplay over Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and 1917. Acceptance speech was, quote, great honor, thank you. Then he proceeds to give the rest of his speech in Korean. These people are the destruction of America. So, few thoughts on that. John Miller can go fuck himself because he's a tool. Then he tries to go and defend because everyone was like, you're racist, yada, yada, yada. He says these people are obviously not Koreans, but those in Hollywood awarding a foreign film that stokes flames of class warfare over two films I thought were more deserving, simply to show how, quote, woke they are. That should be clear from the rest of what I tweeted about the night's production.
Well, I would be interested just to see the rest of what he's tweeted because I think
the rest of his tweets are garbage.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I wouldn't say I would enjoy reading them.
Right.
But I'm really big on context with this sort of stuff.
Sure.
And if it was in because this out of context makes it seem like these people mean Korean people.
Absolutely. And you can't assume if you're on Twitter that everyone's going to be following every tweet you've ever put out there.
Yeah.
You've got to Ari Shafir's stance too. You can't assume that everyone knows that this is a bit you do.
Well, because the problem here is if he just had the first paragraph, which was a man named Bong Joon-ho wins Oscar for Best Original Screenplay over Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 1917, and then has these people are the destruction of America. Okay, but he has the two sentences in there that says acceptance speech was great honor, thank you. Then he proceeds to give the rest of the speech in Korean. And then he followed up by these people are the destruction of America.
Right.
I think it's logical for
Right.
us to be like, you don't like foreigners?
Right.
Like, what are you talking about?
And again, let's break down his explanation of this.
Yeah.
So he says, he was talking about those in Hollywood awarding a foreign film that blah, 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 blah. Then why put those other two lines, to your point? Like those other two lines, this explanation of the tweet does not sync up with what the actual tweet is.
Yeah.
He's backtracking.
Yeah.
This is blatant. He's backpedaling and trying to go, oh, I'm not racist. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's the Academy that's the issue.
Yeah.
And so again, like, I'm sorry that you didn't like Parasite or you thought these other two were more deserving. Then do something so you can join the Academy and vote. But or otherwise, just shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
again, I just, and the thing is too, he is a South Korean man. The director is. He's from South Korea. The film is a South Korean film.
Yeah.
Why should he, like...
Same guy did Snowpiercer, which was not a Korean film.
Right.
So,
And
starring
again-
Captain America, I don't know. I don't know. The Oscars have kind of lost their luster with me over the years, especially when I've learned about like how they fucking vote for it.
Yeah.
It's about as bad as the Grammys, in my opinion. And so I kind of always take that stuff with a grain of salt. Like this is one particular group of people, white people, that are voting for certain stuff without watching the films. So I always take that with a grain of salt. But I'm thrilled that something like Parasite won because I haven't seen it yet, but I'm fucking fascinated. I've been fascinated ever since I saw the trailer for it. I was like, I want to see this movie.
Absolutely.
And, for something like
Not to mention it was historical.
you
It was a historical win.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
And, I'm excited about stuff like that. And I'm like, great, fantastic. And so for someone to get this butthurt, the last time I got butthurt over something like this was when, The Dark Knight wasn't up for Best Picture in 2008. I was like, how dare you, fuckers? I was like, and Avatar's up for Best Screenplay?
I think
What?
we can all agree that was insane.
Yeah, I was like,
Insanity.
what? I was like, Avatar better not win.
Right.
I mean, that's some horse shit. A couple of notable things about the
Please.
Oscars real quick before we go on. One of my favorite tweets about the Oscars was, hold for it. If you don't think Batman was at the Oscars tonight hiding in the rafters just in case the real Joker pulled something during Joaquin Phoenix's speech, then my friend, you're stupid. From @Sam Richardson. I saw that and I was like, fuck, that's funny. God damn it,
That is
that's
pretty
funny.
good.
So that was extremely enjoyable.
I think not to belabor this, but I do want to just a little bit more on someone. I can't find the tweet now, but someone did say, like, if you, let's say you won a let's say you did something creative and you won an award in South Korea, would you go there and deliver your thank you speech completely in Korean?
Probably not. You'd probably say, whatever, something as simple as thank you very much.
In that language, and then have your translator step
Yeah.
in so you could relay the
course,
message.
yeah.
Again, it's one of those. It's just like, dude, where is that? Why are you so? Someone else goes, and I think this really, to me, this cuts to the point. If I can find it here. Imagine living such a charmed life that your biggest fear is Korean screenwriters speaking their native language. I wish I had your problems, man.
Yeah.
Like, again, that's. You get a real job, dude. Get a real fucking job.
Going back to that guy's tweet about how it's about class warfare. I'm like, who gives a shit? Like, he's like, this movie's about. He's trying to backtrack
Right.
on his stuff about like it's a movie about class warfare instead of what 1917 World War I film and Tarantino's weird depiction, historical fiction on
the Sharon Tate story.
I was like, what?
Right.
Now again, granted, I haven't seen either of those. I really want to see 1917. I'll catch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at some point. I'm just not a huge Tarantino fan.
Sure. To each their own.
Yeah, I'm like,
But again, what's wrong with the movie being about class warfare? It is definitely something that is relevant in pop culture, in not pop culture, in culture today.
Well, I'd also
that's a discussion being had.
Go back to the point you had a couple weeks ago about, a story being interesting, right?
Yeah.
About how something like Parasite seems like a fascinating story,
Sure.
unique story that we don't see every day.
Right.
I think that should be celebrated. This is the format to celebrate. Now,
Absolutely.
Marvel is obviously better in its own way.
Sure.
Everyone chill out. Drew, it's in its own way. And
You're going to make Drew's head explode.
And this is where it's, and Drew, you may notice Avengers wasn't up for Best Picture, so you're welcome. Didn't even win Best Special Effects. So
I think you're proving points for him. Doug, end it. You're proving points for him.
So this is the forum for something like Parasite to be celebrated, and its uniqueness should be celebrated.
Sure.
And
You flawlessly merged thrill, horror, comedy, drama, all these different things just woven all together in one neat little package.
Yeah. And when you look at things like, interesting point too, Joe brought up, I think she saw some tweets too, like, is it weird that no one from the Best Picture was nominated for Best Actor or Best Actress or Best Supporting? Is that strange? And I open that up to Twitter or Twitch, and also our listeners, feel free to share your thoughts. Is it strange that the upper half of Doug's facial hair just looks like California? Thank you.
Oh my God, it does. It does. That's brilliant. Water speech. You win the award of the night.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good
I love
catch.
it. But is it strange that something could be nominated for Best Picture, yet none of its actors are in there for... Because I think the opposite... How do I want to say this? Like, it makes sense to me that Joaquin Phoenix was up for Best Actor, but the Joker didn't win necessarily for Best Picture.
Sure.
Like, I feel like those things could be mutually exclusive. Because I feel like
here's the thing. I will say that there's 9 so mathematically. Now, Doug, this is the only time you're going to hear me argue math.
Lay it on me.
So sit down.
Lay it on me, Einstein.
Buckle in and get fucking ready. Mathematically speaking, you've got 5 nominations for Best Actor, and you've got 9 movies with multiple Okay. I just don't think there's no way that you can take.
That's fair.
Someone has to be out of the mix.
That's okay. I didn't know the math on that.
You know what I mean? So 9 Best Pictures, and I guess technically Brad Pitt was support, because I was gonna say some that you could have multiple people considered. With Parasite too, I don't know how you would pick up, because there seems to be, from what I've seen, there seems to be multiple quote unquote leads. So I don't know who you would designate as the lead.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Again,
it's an interesting conundrum, right? Because
it's interesting.
Can you have a Best Picture without having people being celebrated for Best Actor?
I would have thought it even odder if it had won Best Picture but lost Best International Film. That would have been interesting. I'm sorry, what? Yeah.
We didn't like the subtitle font.
Math doesn't add up.
You take your wingdings and shove it.
Shove it.
Who chose Comic Sans?
Really? We've been through this.
Kevin!
In 1995.
Wrong font!
It was supposed to be Open Sans.
Open Sans.
No serif.
What does it say? It isn't the... it did win Best Screenplay and Best Director, which is rare. Yeah, and it won something. It won 4 awards. I can't remember what the other one was for.
Best costume in the foreign film. Specific category.
Specific category. Best captionist. He didn't choose Wingdings. He's good.
Best font.
Best font. Isn't it the actors themselves that have to put themselves forward for Best Actor noms? Jared, that's a great question. I don't know. Drew and I haven't gotten to this point in our career yet where we can answer that question.
Pretty sure people don't volunteer as tribute for Best Actor. So
you know what? I
volunteer as Best Actor.
No,
I know.
No.
Sacrifice.
You've done it too many times to allow me to.
Listen, it's my honor. It's my family's honor to nominate myself. I volunteer. Pick me if you will. I will reluctantly accept. Oh, what's this? A list of thank yous? to everyone. How exciting.
You're probably the wrong person to ask this of
Let's
because
do it.
you don't watch it. But addressing political statements
Oh, dude.
in thank you speeches.
If there's one thing I definitely don't stand for, if I happen to come across an award show, it's like, who won? Mute. Like, I don't want to hear anything that anyone has to say about anything.
Really?
Don't want to hear thank yous.
There's some funny ones.
I'm sure they're great, and I'll read about them the next day.
I'll read the tweets.
I'll read them because I'm just like, I mean, if the funniest shit
I
comes
looked to
from
John Miller to summarize what everyone said.
right,
Yeah.
like Taika Waititi is fucking hilarious.
That's
Did you
great.
Did
Yeah.
you see that thing Brie Larson shot of him where he was in the crowd, he was like shoving his Oscars in the
the
seat.
thing, yeah.
He looked at her like, what do you fucking
Right.
do? You know, like, I don't want this. Like,
Well, he also, as he was holding it, he's like, this one's light. Why is this one light?
he's so fucking hilarious.
He's
I love
really
that guy.
funny, yeah.
He's the best. But yeah, I don't care. The problem is that a lot of those folks, I shouldn't say a lot, there's a select few, like Joaquin Phoenix is a phenomenal actor, but he's kind of a weird dude.
Well, that's the thing I think is interesting with him is it looks like he's more comfortable being a character than it is being Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like it's painful for him
You
to
remember
be
that
himself.
the thing he did for a documentary where like he was
Oh.
going around like playing a character?
Well, where he retired, like basically, like he retired from acting and was doing the music thing, and he was a rapper.
Yeah.
and it was a year-long stunt for this film. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it while you were here or something like that?
No.
Or you say
We
my
were
name?
never
Say
here.
my name. When no one is around you, say "baby, I love you."
Yeah, and it's
If you weren't running games.
yeah, in parentheses.
Right. Part 2.
But I think I just don't. I mean, the thing is, part of the problem with that stuff is that, for better or worse, agree with it or not, people have a hard time with Hollywood, and people
Yeah.
think a lot of those folks have their head up their ass.
Sure.
And for someone who's in a tens of $1,000s, maybe hundreds of $1,000 suit or gown, getting these wonderful gift bags that are worth hundreds of $1,000s. Like, we have to care about the earth. Vote. It's like, okay, pal, get off the stage. Like, and go eat your caviar or what you're doing. It comes off as a little bit
off as
hollow.
that, yeah.
And not to say that they don't mean it. I mean, they can. You can exist, but the
Yeah.
problem is that there's a lot of that stuff. There's a reputation for it. And a lot of people just don't take it seriously. Part of it is it's perpetuated by guys like douchebag Miller, who's like the Hollywood sycophants. I'm like, yeah, there's some truth to it, but guys like him just make it seem worse. We're
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
Hollywood's ramming, I'm using this word specifically, the homo agenda right down your throats or your butts, however you want to look at it.
Right.
And they just say that they're perpetuating whatever they're doing, and I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, it depends on who it is, I guess, actor-wise. There's some people I'm like, fuck yeah. And there's other people I'm like, just stop.
Yeah.
Just call it, man.
Well, there's Haig had an interesting. He brought this up to me the other day. He asked because he asked how I felt about it, and he said his whole thing is don't take 20. What are you going to tell me in 20 seconds?
Yeah.
Or 45 seconds.
Yeah.
You're not gonna change the world. Also, he's like you're speaking to a room full of people who are also mostly left leaning, and you're speaking to people, an audience watching who's probably mostly left leaning as well. He goes, the next day, the Republican, all the conservative outlets are going to go, Hollywood pushing their agenda again, just like we just talked about. So he goes, you're essentially preaching to the choir in a 45-second window.
yeah.
How much are you going to get done with it? He goes, if you want, so to that I said, I agree, but I do also think that there's something important to be said about repetition breeds recognition.
Yeah.
So like if if you're going to be an advocate for something, you've got to take every opportunity to talk about it. What we did agree on is he said that if they want to do something, go stump for your candidate.
Exactly.
Or go stump for your cause. Get out there and then and a lot of them do.
Yeah.
It's just they bring that to the award show as well. So I personally, I don't care if it gets very heavy-handed. I'm like, this is an award show. But if someone at the end says, and don't forget, get out and vote, I'm fine with that.
Well,
I don't care.
Because I get it. It's a platform, right?
It's a
It's a
platform.
large platform.
Yes.
Where people have
use it.
They have a moment to speak.
Yeah.
Do it, but do it in an effective way, and that's the challenging part. It's like writing a good tweet. You know, it's like you got to do it right. You got to do it right while you have the stage. So, all right. As we're sort of winding down here, I want to.
There's an important question before we get into that.
Let's do it.
And this actually could lead into what you want to talk about in a minute here.
Okay.
So Water Speech wants to know, has Doug, have you tried caramelizing your onions before trying them?
Fuck off. Fuck off, all you guys.
It might taste different.
Fuck all you guys.
It's caramelized
and your
onions.
Caramelized horse shit. I don't need it. I don't want it. Yes, I've tried it, and no, I don't like it.
All right.
You guys can take your onions and you keep them.
So when you go to the store, then you don't buy onions.
No.
Okay.
Why?
If you were to buy them, would you bag them yourself?
No.
Okay.
Thank you for leading me there. Sorry, I'm like, where are we going with this?
Come on, man.
I was like, oh, the minute, right. So, the minute. So in case we've kind of been half-assed with this, mostly me, the minute is a segment where we want to take something very quick.
Right.
We would love it if it came from listeners, from Twitch folks on social media. Send us either an audio, a video, or something in text that you think within 1 minute you can give us your hot take, and we'll chat about it real quick.
Right.
I want to get your perspective on it. Like Sam Cooke had one about the Irishman and Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, and that he felt that they were just basically
overrated actors.
essentially the same character in every
Right.
movie. So that was like a nice example. Mine for this week is...
Impromptu theme for the segment?
yeah.
In a mind gap minute. Ooh.
I'm done.
You're welcome.
I love it. So good. So my thing is I'm not bagging my groceries at the grocery store.
Done. This has been 15 seconds.
Mind gap minute. Oh yeah. I was at the grocery store the other day, and weirdest thing happened.
They're on
Weirdest thing
onions
happened?
now. Sorry.
Fuck
It's
off.
turned into an onion chat.
Fuck off, you guys. We're not talking about onions. So I was at the grocery store, and the weirdest thing happened, which is I go to check out, and there's just a cashier just sitting there waiting. No one there.
And
I was like,
what store? Can you mention the store?
at the Jewels Osco.
All right.
I love when people call it the Jewels.
The Jewels.
The Jewels.
Yes.
So I'm like, well, this is what a lucky day I have. So I go over and I'm like, this person's just waiting for someone to come. I'm like, here I go. And then all of a sudden I realized there's no bagger. And I was like, I'm not doing it.
Now, was there a carousel? Because some of the ones have like a carousel. It's like with bags on three sides, and it turns, and you can bag and they can bag. And some of them have that bagging thing right at like the far end. Is that what this one was?
Doesn't matter what it is. I'm not doing it.
I just want to see what your setup was.
Not a carousel.
Okay,
It was your traditional
So you
checkout.
would have had to have round the corner to the end of the thing and start bagging from there. All right, let me hear the rest.
So I'm a team player. You know this.
I do. You yes and man.
Yes, Sam, but where I will say no and never is I will never bag my own groceries, because I'm like, hey man, this is not my job. Like, I won't do it. And so I did all this sort of stuff, and the lady was like checking all my stuff, and then she runs my car, and then she just like slowly, she almost looks at me kind of like, you're not gonna help me? And I'm just like, no. I'm just sitting there staring, and she's just like,
You guys smell that? I smell white privilege.
and she's just like, she comes around the end and like starts bagging, and I'm like, that's right. People behind me, I'm looking at them, I'm like, I've seen all of you other people do this. You go and help. I'm not doing it. I'm not bagging my own fucking groceries. If I want to
Doug
bag
took
my
a
own,
hard
if I want to
stance.
bag my own groceries, I'll go through the self-checkout. I'll do it there by myself. But no, I went to the checker because I want you to do it. I want you to bag my groceries. That's why I'm in this line.
And while you're doing it, I want you to look me in the eyes. Do not break eye contact
I'm just
with
like,
me.
this is how it is.
So I can come.
Because conversely, when people are standing in the checkout line with two things, I rage inside. I'm like, go to the self-checkout. Save yourself. Just go. It'll go beep, beep, and you're done.
I adore how much you want the world to revolve around your set of rules.
Yeah.
I love it.
Why is there a self-checkout if you have two things and you don't use it? It's not like you have alcohol and you're like, well, someone's got to do it anyway, or I have to weigh it, or whatever.
I love how practical you are.
You have two things and you're standing and you're waiting. I'm like, you could be God. I wish I was you. I get excited. I get thrilled when I get an opportunity to use the self-checkout. I'm like, fuck yes. I'm just going to go boop, boop, pay and go. I don't have to talk to anybody. Fuck yes. Count me in. That has been the Mind Gap.
I'm gonna let Doug go. I'm just gonna wind him up and just listen. Tell me your thoughts, thoughts on Jewel.
I could not wait to talk about that. And in that moment, part of me, like, usually this is where I'm like, oh my God, I'm holding up the line. I'm like, no, I'm done feeling this way about bagging my groceries. You bag it.
That's interesting that's the hill you want to die on.
That is.
That's
the
just,
hill.
it's just interesting. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just saying it's just interesting that you've got such strong opinions on that one very kind of arbitrary thing.
I wouldn't say it's arbitrary. I'd say it's a part of our everyday lives. So I get a lot of social anxiety when I go to checkout and things like that. I don't know why. I'm like, oh God, we're going to check out now. I hope I do this right. I hope I don't make anybody mad. I hope I put the divider up. Oh my God, what if my card does? I just get these insane things in my head.
That's fascinating.
And it's just like, oh my God, I hope it. And I have this sigh of relief. I'm like, I can finally leave now.
We should send you. There's a VR simulation that you can go through.
Great. It's called bagging your groceries.
Back your groceries. It will help you process this feeling.
It's called getting groceries.
It's called
at the Jewels.
It's just called checkout.
It's called checkout.
It's, checkout at the Jewels.
I'm just like.
See, now conversely, I have no problem. The times when I have tried to help bag and I've been given the stink eye because I've been trying to help, and they're like, you're fucking our mojo up over here. And I'm just like, well, fuck me. I'm sorry that I was trying to help. But typically we'll bring our own bags. And
Same.
It's just easier. Like as they're scanning it, I'll just start throwing shit in.
Well, that's the thing.
That's to me, that's how you don't hold up the line.
Yeah. Well, part of it is just like when I went to London when I was 19, I went to go get groceries, and that's what you do there at the grocery stores. You bag your
own shit. Same as Aldi.
And it was an intense supermarket. And I was like, I'm staying in line. I'm like, oh my God, we have to bag our own stuff.
Intense, like they had like Germans. They like just
like, ah! That's how they talk.
You're taking too long. Move the line.
Take the bags and go.
Move the line now.
And I'm like, oh my God, because you're like putting your stuff up and they're scanning it and your shit's just flying to the end. And I'm like,
shit.
I can't bag it yet. Hold on. They're like, nah. And they're like, oh my God, it's pounds. I don't know. Is it a lot? Am I getting a deal? Am I getting ripped off?
Here's monies.
Fanta. Oh my God. Fanta. And then I'm like just shoving shit in bags. And they're like, come on. They're already throwing someone else's shit down there. I'm like, oh my God. Everyone just chill.
Your shit's gonna get mixed up if you don't stop bagging. Bag it.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's like boot camp.
Yeah, it was intense.
Terrifying.
It was very intense. I had a hard time. Here we go. Look at that. Cashiers have always bagged here. We don't have bag people. See? American privilege. That's from Jared Urbis down in Australia. So...
Wait, dull moment. Wait, we don't have cashiers. Okay, yeah. So the cashiers are making minimum wage. They do not get paid to bag your shit. It's not their fault their manager didn't hire enough people to bag your shit.
Agreed, but how many times do you work in customer service and shit doesn't go your way? Drew, we shared our time at a shitty hotel, man.
Here's the thing. This and Marvel, this is where Drew comes back on the podcast. We will pull these two topics back up.
Because here's the thing, Drew, you're not wrong. In fact, the woman was back when she was finishing up, she goes, do you know anyone that wants to be a bagger? Because we desperately need people to come over here and bag.
Maybe that was her passive aggressive way of saying fuck you to you.
Could be. I'm like, that's fine. I'm like, yeah. She's like, seriously, if you know anyone, send them. She's like, we just never have enough baggers. So I agree with Drew. Like, it sucks to be the cashier that doesn't have a bagger.
Yeah.
I don't like going to a line that doesn't have a bagger.
Right.
It sucks because I'm like, fuck. Now this person's going to have to do it because I ain't doing it.
Wow, I'm learning so much about you.
I'm also a terrible bagger because I'll just throw shit in.
And a terrible human.
Maybe. I mean, put that up on the poll. Is Doug a bad human for not bagging his own groceries? I'm going to do it now.
Oh my God. So when you look for a checkout line, do you kind of scan through to find the ones that are the lowest line, that have that are properly staffed? They have a cashier that looks like you're not going to have an issue when you get up to the front of the line. Like, are all those things considerations that you take?
I prefer one that has it's obviously the priority goes shortest line followed by bagger.
Okay.
It's like and sometimes the third one is like, do I know the cashier? Are they going to be annoying? Because one time I was going and this woman just goes out of nowhere. We were just doing stuff, whatever. She's like, you seen that new Rambo movie? I was like,
I can imagine you looking up and going, nope, not doing this.
I go,
not doing this.
I go, no, is it any good? She goes, I don't know, I haven't seen it.
And you said, do you want to be on MindGap? Because you have the credentials.
Because I think she said something, she made some sort of qualification for it, like I think she said before anything, like, it's good. I'm like, oh yeah? Is it good? She goes, I don't know, I haven't seen it. I'm like, but I'm so confused. It was so random, just out of nowhere. She's like, you seen that new Rambo movie? I'm like, no.
You
want to talk about it?
9.5 out of 10 times, I will go to the self-checkout line.
Oh yeah.
Personally. Even if I have a cart full of stuff, I will go to the self-checkout line because
Mad respect.
I feel I'm like, I've had this debate with people too, where they're like, that's just taking jobs. That's automating something. They're taking someone's job. I understand that. But I can knock that shit out pretty fucking quick. I've worked the cash register. I've worked retail. I know the game, and I can get that shit done.
You know what? To Drew's point, I'm helping them out because they don't have a bagger.
That's true.
I'm doing it myself.
You're doing it yourself. Well, there. So guys, please take the poll and let us know if Doug's a horrible human being for not bagging. I was obviously joking when I said that, but it should make for a good poll.
Yeah.
You know who else doesn't bag?
Who's that?
I don't know. I thought I had something. I didn't.
You took a shot.
I did.
You're right.
I was like, I'm going to say this and something's going to come. Nothing came.
Nope.
That's what she said. So today's throwdown was given to us by, I think this was suggested by Haig. I'm not 100% sure. But we're taking two of the most legendary people in Hollywood, we'll say. Legendary. We're doing Bill Murray versus Tom Hanks.
Yes.
And now his qualification was they're competing to the death to see who you get to hang out with. I don't know if I fully follow that throwdown logic.
So whoever wins, we get to hang out with them?
They want to kill the other person so you can hang out with them.
I feel like that's a weird qualification.
Because they're both so nice? Question mark? I mean, Tom Hanks is, Bill Murray is just legendary.
I'm just going to
for like fucking around.
snip that last part off. We're going to pretend that it never happened.
Bill Murray versus Tom Hanks.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Well, now, so both of these people are known for having a lot of fun and fucking with their fans and
having a lot of bodies,
buried
in
their
places
that
only they know about.
Don't open their freezer. Nope. You will find parts.
There's at least a toe or two in there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It goes good on ice cream.
It does. It's right in there with the mini hot dog.
That's right. I think they both have a mischievous side.
Mm-hmm.
I think Murray's mischievous side may outweigh Hanks's mischievous side.
I think Murray's murderousness probably outweighs Tom Hanks.
You think so?
I mean, Bill Murray survived a divorce. So, I mean...
There you go.
When he was filming Groundhog Day, I mean, that was kind of a horrible time for him to do that movie.
Did he get a divorce?
I'm pretty sure he was getting divorced.
I read the book, and I don't remember that being mentioned.
God damn it, Justin. You sure you read a book?
I remember.
God, I felt horrible coming out of my mouth.
No, you're not wrong, though. That's the thing. You're not wrong. I've read one book in 2 years, so you're not wrong, and it was that one. I'm dumb. He might have gone through a divorce. I don't know. I mean, he definitely got a divorce. When? Gotcha. I have no idea.
But I could have sworn I remember hearing that maybe he was having trouble in his marriage at that time, but
undoubtedly
that movie was tough for him and actually led to Harold Ramis and him having issues, like amongst other things. So I feel like that guy has survived that. He's very quirky, and he seems like the kind of guy that you would come in and for no reason, unbeknownst to him that there would be a throwdown, would have a bomb strapped to his chest.
Or at least a crowbar in his pants.
100%.
Yeah, like he's coming with a tire iron.
He has some sort of unusual yet effective weapon on him at all times.
At all times. Even if nothing more than a golf club.
Yeah.
Which we know he has on him quite often.
And I think that he would come off as so erratic that it would rattle Tom Hanks. Now, Tom Hanks...
See, I think Tom could keep his cool, though. I don't think it would rattle him.
Well, I mean... And it's unfair because I look at Tom like, Tom has lived the storied American life. Look at him. White, happy.
Accurate things. I look at Tom and I say, there's a man that nothing shakes him. He could easily just kind of snap his fingers and have an army behind him. So, I mean, no matter where he is, he has allies.
What army's going to win? Bill Murray's army or Tom Hanks's army?
Yeah, but could Murray... The thing is, if Murray's army is anything like him, he'd have to leave a message on some random answering machine for them, and they may or may not show up for him.
If they show up, they're like Mad Max people.
Sure, but it's like a 50... That's accurate, but it's a 50-50.
But I'm saying one of them is probably worth at least 3 or 4 of Tom Hanks'.
But Tom Hanks's are guaranteed to be there.
But Tom Hanks sends a typewritten letter to everyone so they know, they show up.
And he says, T. Hanks, thanks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag GIF.
I think...
Podcast GIF.
I really think Murray's going to pull this one out. Just his unpredictable nature would allow him to. I think you bring up a good point about Tom Hanks in that not much would surprise him, but what would is what's in Bill Murray's bag. That's what he has.
I also think Bill Murray could go, "Oh, Tom, a fan," and Tom would turn his back for a moment because he's that nice. And that would be that's when Murray just
Bill
strikes.
Murray just keeps turning his Tom Hanks head around until it snaps.
Exactly. Yeah.
You just got to use the force. He's going, go with it.
He's going.
Yes, and you're dead.
Yeah.
And then he would whisper to someone nearby. He goes, "You never believe it. No one will believe you. It was me," and then run off. Like
no one will believe that you saw Bill Murray murder Tom Hanks. Because you're dead too. Snap. And then he goes on a killing spree and just kills like 50 people.
Yeah.
Because everyone who saw him do it, he's got to murder them.
He does.
Yeah. Until the last person in the area. And then he walks away and goes, no one will ever believe this.
They'll never believe you. And then skips away into the sunset.
Yep.
Yep.
Singing tra la 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 la. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yep.
So
Bill Murray for the win!
Sorry, T. Hanks.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that was interesting. Justin.
Yep, Doug.
What do you have to recommend for this?
I've been busy. I've been
right.
watching shit. I don't know. Did I recommend? I can't remember last week if I recommended Marriage Story.
You did.
I did. Okay, so then I won't recommend it again.
Thank Christ.
I've started watching Mythic Quest: Raven's Banquet, which from Rob McEnley or McKell. I don't know how to say his name. The guy who plays Mac on Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Charlie Day co-created this, and one of the writers from
Always Sunny.
So those three created this, and it is basically about that the guy Rob plays this character Ian, who is the head of a video game, like an MMO type, World of Warcraft type game. You'd know more about it than I would, but he runs this game, which is like insanely popular, one of the top games in that field, and it's about them releasing the sequel, which is hopefully going to do as good as the original, and so. It deals with everything in the world of gaming, from streamers commenting on it and how important streamers are, even though the people at the video game companies just like this fucking douchebag. I hope, but they're hanging on every word because they can make or break the game. To infighting between developers and creatives, to the writer, to the test. They go to some con, like a gamer con, to find there's so much that I think is hysterical. But as a non-gamer, I'm sure there's that much more that I'm missing. I think you are going to get a fucking humongous kick out of this show.
I'll have to check it out.
It's really funny, and it comes from people who are proven that they can do a comedy. So it's really good. And ironically, it's got comedy, but like the episode, I think it's the 5th episode I just watched. If I'm not mistaken, it was written by Kate Olsen, which is Rob's wife.
Cool.
She plays Dion on Always Sunny, and it was hauntingly beautiful / sad.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Like it's this comedy, really serious, beautiful episode. Comedy. It's so weird. So
Impressive.
I'm dying to get your take on this show. And then also Zombieland Double Tap. Fucking amazing.
Really?
Amazing. I was a fan of the first one.
Same.
The second one, I would say, is equal, if not better. It was hysterical.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right. Well, I will take your recommendation seriously for that. I've got continuing The Outsider on HBO. Fucking amazing.
All right.
Episode 6 just landed. It's getting good.
Getting good, folks.
Again, probably one of the best shot films I've ever, or shows, as well as excellent acting and music. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And also this band, I just have it's one of these bands that has like popped up in my YouTube feed, and I'm like, I'll listen to them. I'm like, cool. And every single song that I've listened to them, I'm like, that's pretty good. And I just keep going. Finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy one of their albums. And I did. And they're a very fun, their name really summarizes what their sound sounds like. It's kind of like a very happy sounding sort of beach vibe with a female singer. And I love everything about it. It's very fun. It's very kind of a little bit of a alternative rock, more like kind of like, I don't know if grunge is the right word, but it's hard to describe, but it's very fun. It's something you imagine you'd probably listen to at the beach or like a fun party or something like that. It's very fun rock. So I highly recommend them. Check them out wherever you find your shit. So
That's where you can listen to it.
That's right. Speaking of where you can listen to stuff, gang, check us out. Before I get to that, I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, Twitch, obviously, listeners, things like that. You guys are great. And also, just please check us out on our social medias. Interact with us. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, @MindGap Podcast. Watch us on Twitch. We've got a very vivacious chat going right now.
Today has been one of the best. We haven't even touched on half of the things that they've been talking about.
Yeah, you guys are
not for trying. We've been trying to get to it, but man, this is a great chat today.
It's great. It's awesome. Also, check us out on YouTube, our stuff there, and just like us, share us, subscribe, do all of those things. It's really important. We're trying to kind of move the needle on some stuff here, especially like in the Twitch realm. If you guys could like and follow us, that'd be awesome. Trying to hit that affiliate status, amongst other things, that would be pretty cool. So that being said, Justin is also online as well.
That's true. On Instagram and Twitter @Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's the fun way of spelling it. While you're in the online realm, check us out on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher,
Spotify,
and Google Podcasts, wherever you can get your podcasts. Like us, subscribe to us, review us, rate us, share us around. The big one is sharing. If all of you just share this to 5 people, just be like, hey, check this out. Send them a link. It makes a gigantic difference for us, and hopefully they'll share and yada, yada, yada. You get math. And then also 2east8th.com/mindgap, and then keep an eye on 2east8th social presences, because Drew and I are prepping for our next short film that we're going to be shooting in San Diego in hopefully April. It's called Cry Baby Bridge, and it's going to be dipping our toes into the horror/thriller genre. And then we should hopefully within the first half of this year have an event in Chicago, if not other places, a premiere of all the stuff we've been working on.
That's fantastic.
Keep an eye on all our stuff.
That's super exciting. Justin, thank you.
Douglas, thank you.
Twitch, thank you.
Listeners, thank you.
And you all have a dandy fucking week.
Mind Gap Podcast.